You know what time it is. Welcome to Great Table Talk. Four childhood friends coming together to make a difference in our everyday community. Enjoy this week's episode. Welcome to Great Table Talk. It's Cash.
Hey, it's Ree.
Hey, Ree, hey. And the fellas.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, it's good.
Okay, well, we got the YBS family. I'm glad that they are on cue again.
Yeah, we on it.
Y'all getting much better with this. So, listen, today's the hot topic came up. I was reading some articles, and one of these videos popped up. It was a gospel artist. I'm not quite sure what her name is.
It says Najai. She's from East Africa.
Y'all got the video?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, y'all can just go ahead and play.
And the purpose
I can't
of
really answer that without the visual.
Well, I'm gonna explain it to you. This is why, since he's being messy, I can't. Because he really just wants to see this.
I'm just saying.
He just want to see this visual.
I need to understand the topic, guys. I'm answering.
So the hot topic is she was singing on stage. Right. I think she was singing a gospel song.
She was performing a gospel song, but her attire wasn't traditional. Attire of a gospel artist, I guess you should say. She basically had on what was described in the article as booty shorts, and she was performing a gospel song.
So what's your take on that?
Yeah.
Well, Cherie, you seem really bothered by that.
No, I'm just saying, like you asked what's my take on it. I don't know.
So what's everyone? What's your take?
I mean, Coming to America is my favorite movie, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the pastor said the Lord made it. The Lord made it. So what everybody upset about?
I'm gonna be careful on my answer with this one.
Hey,
people tuning in on that.
She did have some cheeks out the bottom. I mean, you can see the pictures on Ree phone.
Like I said,
don't say on Ree phone like that.
Well, I meant that you pulled the article up. Oh my gosh! Like it's a screensaver. Like no, Ree, I know.
It's on my phone. No, but I mean, what was the? Okay.
What was the song about?
Please,
I don't know.
I know what the song was about.
I don't know, but she was praising him.
I'm seriously asking this question. Ultimately, the goal is to draw people to Christ. Did she accomplish that?
She saved some souls, I'm sure.
No, I don't think that's what
I mean, it's a couple people that's ready to go to church.
Yeah, that she probably touched some souls.
If you look at it like that, I mean, they're trying to get the people to come through the doors, right?
There's a respect level. I mean,
like I said, that's why I say people never satisfied in situations and relationships. A woman is trying to get people through the door. You know what I'm saying? If you get them through the door, Pastor probably told you it don't matter how you get them to come. Just get them to come.
Go ahead, Pat.
I mean, you clowning, but I think it's kind of, I think it's inappropriate in that. I mean, there's a place and time for all of that, and I just think that's kind of disrespectful. That's just totally.
I'm gonna be able to be that guy.
He's that guy.
You know why it's disrespectful? Because if that was you at church, you can't look. Because you scared your wife gonna bat you over the head with that Bible.
Well, that's true too. But I'm just saying, like I said, this is just a time and a place for all that, and that ain't the place. That wasn't the place.
But if she's now, given the fact, I don't know if she's a gospel artist, but let's just say she's a secular artist.
that's what it says in the article.
She's a gospel artist?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Is that because of what she had on? Is because of how it made you feel? Like, I think
No,
that part's on you. If you
think-
feel uncomfortable by her dress, what are you thinking about, Pat? Because if you concentrating on the message of that song,
I would
you
be
shouldn't
like,
have
wait,
no worries
I'm
about
here,
what she got.
If I'm here, I'm going to the church, and I'm focused on whatever I'm focused on while I'm going to church. And I'm going to look at this and I'm going to be like, man, that chick wrong for that. That's just the state of mind that I'm in. Because people go to church to clear their mind of whatever they got going on or to praise the Lord.
Then you
Whatever is going on outside, they're not here for that today. And for that to come across my face, I'm going to be like, man,
right.
Tripping.
Right.
I ain't coming for all this.
I mean, okay, listen, in all fairness,
why I'm here.
even if you go on a job interview, you're not going to go on a job interview with jeans and T-shirt. It's a time and place, right attire. So,
she got
for
a
that.
job. She got a job already.
I can't even. Moving on to the hot topic. I wanted to discuss.
There's a question on the
Oh, okay. Hold on one second. We got a question.
Hello, good evening. My name is Paige.
Did she
But to
mention her name?
comment on the hot topic, a lot of people go to church because they have a lot of, change, Sometimes some people have problems with lust, and if she's like a gospel artist portraying her Christianity, if she's going up on stage, that person that may be in the audience that's trying to get
Yeah.
the change broken
Right.
from like lust, but they looking at a lustful image.
Yeah.
It's like they're struggling.
Ah.
It's a di-
baby,
and it's a di-
baby,
no,
baby,
it's a
baby, baby,
difference.
baby.
Don't do that.
If that man is suffering from lust, I wouldn't care if that woman was wearing a potato sack. He's still thinking the same thing.
You have a
Period.
point.
But
You have a point.
however,
Yes, they are.
He does have a point.
No, yes, they are. Like,
He
if,
has a point.
if a man
But
looks at a
it-
woman as a sexual thing, it doesn't matter what you like. It may make it easier for
Yeah,
him visually,
but the thing-
but it don't change where his mindset is at.
I mean, that's the point. Go
but
ahead.
then you don't know what that person's triggers are either. I'm just saying, like maybe just going off of what she was saying, that if that man is there because he, is seeking deliverance from something, from lust, and women dressing in that manner is a trigger for him.
Then Deacon, come
Then-
pray with me.
You
Come
know,
pray, and
that
it's
might-
still getting people to come towards the Lord.
I
But then
think
also as the gospel artist, if she's already, my thing is, if you're in a place where you are a gospel artist and you are saying that you know the Lord, you want to bring people to Him, and you want to, help people grow, then you should be at a place where and present yourself in a way that you're not a new. It's not like she's walking off, out off the street and saying, "Okay, I'm coming to church. I'm coming as I am."
Yeah,
like,
what I
at
mean-
what level, you had to grow at some point.
No.
no. So you
That
think
could be
you
her-
don't
that
think
could be her-
believers have to grow?
No, I'm not saying I don't think believers have to grow. I'm saying why, since I became a believer, do I need to be stripped of my individuality? If I want to wear booty shorts while I perform, what is that? Like, they came to see me.
See,
Listen.
Like,
he
that's
needs.
a David Ruffin moment. Like, they came to see me.
They ain't come
And
to see
y'all
you,
mad
Otis.
because I was in
They
some
ain't come to see you,
Come
Otis.
to see you.
It's an indication.
see
Yeah, it's an
me.
indication
They
he needs
call
change in
me.
his life.
Hashtag more.
He needs change in
Well, that's
his
what he did. He
No,
needed.
you,
Yeah,
are, you are one of those guys. You are that
No,
deacon
I'm not.
that's talking
Oh, all right. I
about,
thought you were talking about me.
tell sister so and so don't wear that dress to church no more because you can't keep your eyes off of.
I mean,
why don't
listen.
why don't you get yourself together?
No.
Y'all don't listen to him.
Absolutely
He
not.
Tell your wife to
Listen
put
him.
that dress on so you got to stop looking at sister so and so in her dress.
Don't
You-
listen to
you
him.
need help, my
Yeah,
brother.
he does.
He
We're gonna
needs
pray for you
prayer.
right after this
Prayer. He needs
podcast.
prayer.
I'm gonna give y'all some real truth here.
Yeah.
Let's move on to our main
Need prayer,
topic
son.
Main
today,
topic.
which kind of goes into. I want to discuss faith, hope, and love in regards to your Christianity or your beliefs or your moral code or compass. Recently, well, it's been going on since the beginning of the time that ministers, teachers, leaders have been scrutinized for the way that they sell hope. Okay? So I want to discuss on the idea of selling hope. What is selling hope? And why are we so judgmental when someone is doing something?
I'm gonna go ahead and tack this thing first. Then, the selling hope part is just that's frustration. Like a lot of people feel like, especially with black people, like we've been sold hope our entire life. Like when's somebody gonna actually come in and deliver on a promise or, produce a cause? Because people have the stage to do it. I think about celebrities and you think about things like that happen in Flint. Like you can't tell me that these same artists that rally around France or whoever couldn't throw together some kind of concert with no need for promotion, no need for nothing. Like just show up and donate all that money to fix a problem. But the world don't work like that. And even like say with church, like you're gonna keep getting told that it's gonna get better tomorrow. Like people get tired of hearing it's gonna get better tomorrow. They want to figure out how to fix it today.
So is that to say that we shouldn't have hope?
No, you gotta have hope because that's the only thing that you're gonna be able to use to persevere. But hope can't be the
end
meat
all
of
and
the
be all.
situation. Like no, you got to give like real like a real fine-tuned answer in a destination. Like the promised land is an invisible thing if you don't really have any concrete foundation for it or direction towards it. You just kind of, going through the motions. Like
Oh.
that's the frustration.
Well, you're right. We as a people have been sold hope for quite some time, but I do believe that it's important for our teachers to teach hope, to preach hope, to continue to encourage, a healthy life and hope and faith.
Yeah. I mean, you need that, but you also need the other lessons, because you think about us in our age group and how many things we learned in our 30s that we should have known when we were kids,
Facts.
teenagers,
Facts.
because the information is not there. That's why, like I said, these adults, these pastors, these teachers, like they knew these things, yet they didn't share that knowledge, they didn't share that information with you.
And we're not generalizing. I mean, there are some good ones out there. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're awesome. I just wish that they were more that focused on, trying to build us collectively instead of, concentrating so hard on their individual messages.
that's a good point. So the unity you saying wasn't there.
There is no unity. Like we don't want to step out and say, once we become successful at whatever our pitch is, you say whether it be religion or hope or motivation or whatever, like we hold on to those people like tangible money. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want my followers or my believers to be listening to what so and so is saying because he may take it from me. Like that's real life.
That's true. That's true.
In H and Owen, like that's what
true.
it is.
Yeah.
Like everybody's trying to fleece their congregation yet not giving back. It's sad that you have mega churches that don't have community programs in these communities in which they live in. I mean, that's horrible.
Because they don't live in those communities.
Well,
They live outside
you
those
know what I think the problem is? The whole problem is there is no unity. Like a lot of people they just want to talk about it and talk about hope. We hope that something is going to change, or we all need to stick together. But if there's no effort in unity, then there's nothing going to come out of it. But like let's just say like with the YBS, me and Brandon, we talked about this like a year ago, and we had a vision about bringing our community together, bringing our black professionals in business together and promoting them. Well, here we are a year later. A lot of people have been seeing us and following us and loving what we're doing. So now all of these people that didn't believe and believe in hope, now they want to be a part of something.
Right. And
See, we
that's a good
creating
point.
a
You make-
movement.
That's a
You
good-
know what I'm
that's a
saying? We
great
creating
point.
a movement, so it means there's action being taken place. So now people are saying, you know what? I think this can work.
Which-
But that's not happening worldwide on a national scale.
No.
And that's why, we talking about this question, and like it's not, it's not believable, but it all starts with unity, and then you start the unity, and everybody say, look, and look what we doing.
Yeah.
And it's believable because
Yeah.
we are a powerful culture. So with us coming together and showing and proving in action, people are starting to jump on board, and that's
That's important.
And it's tough because you have a vision. You want people to believe in your vision, to support your vision, and some people are so hesitant until they start to see some things.
Right,
And
right.
Instead of believing in the person,
Right.
believing in what the goal is. If it's like I said, if it's something positive around me, I'm gonna try to support it as much as I can.
right.
And not question it. And I think a lot of times people, and it may be because of their lack of drive, that
Yeah, that's good right there.
And then they see someone else who is more driven.
Right.
I always tell people, look, the hours of the day are going to pass. So you can do something with them or you're not.
Yep.
So don't get upset with the next person because, or try to block them because they're doing something positive. Either support, learn from each other, I think, and just like you said with the whole concept of selling hope, it's a lot of action that does need to take place. I mean, I'm not you know, there are people that's out there suffering, and the most that you can tell them is, I'll pray for you. Like, yeah, I will, but let's see how we can help you, you know, in this situation. Let's see what we can do. And a lot of times that does not happen.
Right.
You gotta stay away from people that like. I ain't gonna necessarily say stay away. You might have your closest homeboy or your closest friend. Like, let's just say you and Kashella, y'all been friends for years or whatever. Y'all have a business together. She may not understand what exactly you doing. And I'm not gonna say she's hating on you, but she just don't understand what the hell you doing or what you trying to accomplish. But you gotta stick and stick and move on what you believe on. And then when you create that movement, and people are going to start gravitating toward whatever it is they see in you and what they believe in, what you're doing. People want to be a part of that.
People want to be a part of it. You're right. And here's the thing. Oftentimes, people like to be a part of something that's popular and popping. You got what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You say something pretty wild or do something pretty wild. Everyone want to gravitate and connect themselves to your greatness, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's why you have a lot of the mega churches that grow bigger and get all this funding and all this backing, because they built a big following. You know, mega churches was doing it way before social media was doing it. You get what I'm saying?
But
So
I mean, but you say the differentiation is just saying, you know, hope and real substance and things, because what we want to do or what we're doing in YBS is like that's that substance. That's that thing that's saying, like, we ain't just telling you to believe. We're saying, like, this is the model. Support each other. Buy from each other. See where your money goes. See that you can simply, if you are one of those people that question what you can do to empower us as a people, use your money wisely. Like me being able to sit down with a person and tell them that saving your money or being wise about your purchases makes us better as a whole, because your buying power increases our nation's buying power. Like, we've got to be about making each other better. Like, there's no room for hate in what we do, because it's all encompassing.
Okay.
And we don't want nothing from you.
And
like,
we're
here to help you.
And you're right. And guess what? And I want to get back onto the main topic, but it's important that if we want to tell people this and give them that display, we have to be willing to teach them step by step what it is. So here's the question about, let's move from hope to faith. Do you believe, when people say they have faith, and I heard some people like, I have faith, but I'm not a Christian. I've heard people say this. I have faith, but I'm not a believer. Do you think that you can have faith? And I'm switching.
You talking about faith, a believer in God?
Just when I've heard of somebody say, I have faith and I believe, but I'm not a Christian.
But you're not a Christian.
Yeah. Do you think that's, I don't like talking about religion, but I mean, this is what I heard. I kind of was taken aback when I heard
of faith, and that's the definition that I go by.
Say what now?
What faith means, the definition of it. But people, you can have faith in something. A lot of people have faith in things that, you know, they use the word faith and say, okay, well, I have faith that, you know, this is going to happen, or I have faith that's going to happen, or I believe in this. This entity or that one or whatever the case may be. You know, people just want something to hold on to.
People hallucinate
You know,
too.
people, you know, they'll trip. You know, so I think people do say those statements, and they believe those statements. I just have my personal belief, and
Right.
that's what faith means to me.
Right.
And so be it. Yeah.
To me, faith without, and I think this is a quote in the Bible, and I'm far from a Christian.
But I hear where you're going.
I'm a believer.
But
I am a believer.
I hear
But
where
faith
you're
without
going.
work
Is
is not. It doesn't exist. It
Which-
doesn't.
Which-
It's impossible.
Which ties
But you
back
can
in.
talk and say God got my back and God gonna do this. I believe. God ain't tell you that.
Right.
Y'all better leave. Y'all listen.
I
No,
tell
go ahead.
people
No,
all the
let him
time.
finish this. Let
Oh,
him finish
sorry.
this. Go ahead.
You better stop bothering God if you ain't ready.
Oh, that's facts.
Straight up.
That's
Leave,
facts.
leave God alone if you
That's
ain't
right.
ready for whatever it is you
But
asking for.
I talk to him on a daily basis, so I ain't bothering. But I'm just like I've communed. So, Brandon, because this is why I really wanted to discuss this. I'm bringing you up. Go ahead, because
No. I mean, yeah. You can have faith and you cannot be a believer. You can all of that. Like faith is one of those things that I don't that's universal. I don't think it's just tied to religion. Like, so your faith is self-confidence, is just belief and purpose, because you can have a purpose that's higher than all of that.
And why do we like to even talk about the faith that isn't tied into religion? I'm not a religious person at all. I religiously get up, go to work. Well,
No, because
allegedly.
your faith,
Go to work every day.
and purpose don't really have like. If you are handed a task at your job and you know you're gonna do well at it, you would be thinking like you got faith that you're gonna do a good job. That ain't got nothing to do with Jesus.
True. Okay, I want to state this for the record. I am personally so sick and tired of people who were like born and raised in a church, then they get like 30, 40, and then all of a sudden they don't believe in God no more.
No, I mean like you question things differently.
That's a clown.
As an adult than you do as a kid. Like I refuse to be in a position to think that I would dedicate myself to a God that's gonna burn me in hell. Like that was my greatest question as a child.
Right.
So
But let me just tell you something.
I just can't.
If you can't explain why the wind blows from, is it from the east to the west? Something like that, and why it rises and set the way it does, and how you almost got into an accident, but you didn't, that miraculously, you know what I'm saying? You can't believe in miracles, but yet not believe in a God. Like, I don't choose, you can believe in Allah, you can believe in Jehovah, however you choose to name him.
That's not one of them things, though.
Relationship.
Yeah,
and
like that's
religion.
different. That's different.
Right.
Having a
'Cause
relationship with God.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
that's
Like,
different.
I believe having a relationship with God is the first and foremost important thing in my personal life. I'm not a religious person by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not a religious person at all.
Check this out.
You have a question? A comment? What's the comment? Hold on. What's the comment?
Okay, so one of the viewers are saying, faith is the ability to rely on your judgment and experience to achieve your desired outcome in spite of your circumstances.
That's pretty good.
I agree.
That's pretty awesome.
I agree.
I don't know who that was.
And I totally agree.
Yeah.
So what were you saying about?
I was about to say something.
Because again, we keep tying into religion into your relationship with God.
So the relationship and what else? It was the
Religion.
Your religion. Yeah. So in my family household, I always was the one. My parents always, that boy don't go to church. You ain't gonna see Patrick in church. Yeah, that boy, he ain't going to nobody's church. My kids, and I'm not the person that go to church every Sunday. I'm not. It's not that I don't believe in God. I don't think I'm wrong in my mind. I don't think I'm wrong at all. But my thing is, I do personally have a relationship with God, and I feel like from where I come from to where I'm at now, is nobody else. But my faith, my work ethics in God took me to this place where I'm at right now, to be blessed as far as I am right now. I know a lot of people that go to church every Sunday, the same people that talk about me every day about how I'm a heathen or this and that and don't go to church.
Facts.
Why you at where you at and where I'm at where I'm
Facts. Facts.
Can somebody answer that question?
Facts.
And now, I'm not saying that I'm a saint in all of this, but I do have my belief. I have my personal relationship with God.
Your personal relationship with God is super important. I just personally don't understand how someone can not have faith and belief in something greater than themselves.
Yeah.
I just,
No, everybody has.
no, but I know people right now like, oh, well, I don't believe in God. I don't,
Yeah,
if you
well,
want to, you're knocking somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
However, I know some brothers from the Nation of Islam that are very, very structured. They are very positive brothers. And I'm gonna tell you, I've seen a lot of them that came from prison and have become very, very productive citizens, you know, of this country. However, I respect the Nation of Islam. I mean, I respect them brothers. Them brothers are, you know, but they got some issues too.
But
What I'm trying to say is, overall, I'm talking about the structure.
You know what
But that's a religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a religion.
But
It
I
is
mean,
a religion.
But even like their foundation, and you say how dope. I like I always say, like the autobiography of Malcolm X was the book that changed my life as a kid. Like after I read that, I was never the same. And I mean, I'm not a Muslim by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even like not at all. But their belief and their philosophy is one of those things that I do fundamentally believe in, and that's important. It's a lot of us that go to church that have no real concept of what they actually believe in. If you actually had to tell them what your faith is, break down your belief system, they can't, because all they do is go sit down in church.
And it was taught to go to church.
Exactly.
It was forced to go to
The
church.
dope thing about Muslims and stuff like that is that they teach you to research your history, know where things come from. And the problem that people have with Christians is that they just they continue to spout off the things that they've heard over and over again. And if you ask them a question, they can't answer you because they don't know.
Well,
But that, you know, that comes in studying.
Exactly.
and that comes with studying.
And another discrepancy we have in our community is that a lot of people say, "Oh, it's Sunday. I'm going to church to serve the Lord." You got it backwards, because that is where you go to worship, and
Right.
commune with God. Your service is outside of the house.
And to these churchgoers on my left and my right, because this is my personal belief, I think most people go to church out of superstition. If I don't go to church, I'm going to have a bad week. If I don't go to church, God's going to punish me. If
Or
I
if you
don't
don't
go to
tithe.
church, I'm not going. Exactly. It ain't got nothing to do with wanting to serve God. It's a fear of God that's making people go to church.
First of all,
your service is when we talked about that outreach a few moments ago, when we talked about helping others, when we talked about teaching. That is our service. When we know something, when we know things, and we pass it on to others. When you talked about, you know, how to teach people how to balance their money better and be better stewards of their money. That is what services. That is our job outside of the house.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. No, I do not fellowship because of I don't want my week to be bad. 1 second about the comment. I don't want. That's not how this Christian does it. You get what I'm saying? But
How did you get baptized though? Because
Oh,
I
well,
remember
that
how I
was-
got baptized.
well, I mean, I was 10
No,
years old. and
I was
you know.
never saying I was at a revival, and I kept listening to this man say, "If you don't get saved, you're gonna burn in hell. If you don't get saved,
Yeah, I didn't
you're
like the
gonna burn."
methods.
And
Some of those methods. Yeah, I agree.
And
I agree.
how many people got baptized because of that?
Tons.
Exactly.
Tons. Hold on. We have a comment.
Well, personally for me, I grew up in the church, but like under the covering of my parents and my grandfather, you know, they put me on game about how the church is ran. And, you know, they also pushed me towards reading the scriptures for myself. But even in the New Testament, the disciples were raised to say, they taught the followers of Christ that the church is only for a place of fellowship with your brothers. And what you do outside the church, that's your real walk with Christ, you know, that's your actions, that's what you believe in, you know, and how you handle an everyday situation. And they also told you not to worship man-made things. The church is a man-made place. You know,
The building.
It symbolizes God, the divinity between man and God. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things people commonly get confused, and you know that's why a lot of people get scared of coming to church, because there's those that, like you said, Brandon, that like if you don't go to church, you're going to hell, and like you're a heathen if you don't go to church every day. No, some people, you know, receive the word in different ways. Like I know personally, we don't go to church every Sunday, but you know, I still have my personal relationship with God, and a lot of people don't understand that. Even adults nowadays, they don't understand that. Listen, even though I go to church every Sunday, it doesn't mean that Monday through Friday and Saturday, you know, I don't need to talk to God. A lot of people need to know that you need to have a personal connection with God outside of church.
That's right. I agree. That's a really
That's all
good
the way
one.
real.
Okay, that's a real
how I
good one.
see it.
That's it.
So that having a personal relationship with something with God, someone that's bigger than me, that can order my steps even in my imperfection and missing it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A man can't point at me and tell me I'm going to hell because I may cuss.
No.
Or I'm going to hell because I may drink.
But they
or I'm
use
going
it,
to,
though.
yeah, they do.
They use it.
Shame on them. Shame
They
on
use
them.
it.
But that goes with having that personal relationship, you know.
As long as you don't use your faith as a crutch, because a lot of us do that too. we go to church every Sunday so we can say God gonna fix it, and we don't do enough to fix it in our own lives. Like our lives are in our hands. Like too many of us are waiting for God to pull those puppet strings when He gave you the power to do it already. Like that's in you.
That's why I said,
That's why I said
better.
that
He
the
will
message.
do. He will do it. He gives us the tools.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
cannot. I tell people this all the time. You know, they tell me, oh yeah, because I've been praying about this job. Okay, when did you complete your application?
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
yes, you can pray all day.
Absolutely.
Faith without works,
Works is
You
dead.
gotta do the work. So
Right.
fill out the application.
You better have some confidence about yourself too.
Right.
You know?
And
Go
and
ahead.
to kind of to wrap this up, it's important for each and every one of us to have a greater belief in something greater than ourselves. You get what I'm saying? Because if we don't believe in something greater than ourselves, we're kind of like the Walking Dead, if that makes any sense. Because if I'm only dependent on you as my brother to lift me up, I'm always going to be less than enough or running on empty, if that makes any sense. You get what I'm saying? Relationships are important. So, go ahead.
Oh, and I was just about to touch on one more thing about, people in God and asking God for these blessings and stuff. If you, like I say, if you don't have no faith and you ain't got no confidence in yourself, see, the thing is, like with me, I always walk around like I know I can do whatever I say I'm going to do. And I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do, too. Eventually, it's going to work. Now, if you follow what I just said, like, I know, so basically I'm saying I'm confident in myself, so I know that whatever I put my mind to, I can do it. Can't nobody around me, can't no hater, can't none of y'all at this table tell me that I can't do it. Now, along my journey of trying to accomplish that goal, that's when God gonna get to doing His work and saying, you know what, I see this guy, he's working hard, he deserves it.
Yeah.
And that's the spiritual thing that I deal with God. I have a personal relationship with God, saying, listen, God, I know you see me putting everything on the line.
Right.
I'm out here. I'm gonna make this thing happen. And then when it blossoms, that's when I say, man, it ain't nothing but God. And I don't go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something. My relationship.
And I'm drinking Remy right
I can't. Oh no. But I'm a person. I believe this. I believe first thing when you wake up in the morning, you need to take that time out and establish that communication with Him. Some call it meditation. Some call it, just having some quiet time. I think it's important.
Yeah.
And because when you get clarity, you can move throughout your day with so much power.
And that's why I said, like, I'm probably the polar opposite of Pat on that thing. Like, I don't even see a place in myself to ask God for anything. Period. Like,
There's a place in what?
to ever ask for anything. Like, it's so many people suffering in the world that it would be so selfish on my part to be asking for something. Like, that's my basic fundamental.
But that's not your own
problem
relationship with Christ.
But what I'm saying is that just like say fundamentally we say we're all praying for certain things, and then when we get it, we say, oh, God made it happen. What that got on the flip side of that, the other side of that coin is that He's letting other people suffer. If He's going to take the time to give you something that you wanted, He's letting other people suffer.
Let me just tell you this. Let me just tell you this. You have some people that here's the thing. As big of a believer as I may be, right? I get in my car and I press my pedal to the metal 90 miles an hour and I run into a pole. And I believe in God. I'm a Christian. Yes. There's laws that God is not going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it real. We say, okay, well, God, I ain't gonna ask God for that. Yeah, I ask God for quite a bit. But my relationship with Him, you get what I'm saying? But I get that. But it's like we say, okay, well, He got people getting, these kids getting shot in school, and He have babies dying or whatever. But guess what? I mean, the more and more you have a relationship with Christ, the more He would give you wisdom to certain things.
Think about that though. Pat said just now.
Any questions on the phone?
He don't go to church that often. He drinking Remy right now. And if something happened, you give God the glory. How many kids right now that are in horrible situations in their home that are praying to Jesus and God every night and are not being delivered? But Pat got his car.
But how
Okay,
do we know
well, I'm glad.
they might not be being delivered at that
Right.
second.
It's-
So you
God's
never-
timetable is not
No.
ours.
Absolutely.
It's all timing.
God's
It's timing.
absolutely,
That's a-
Shireen.
that's a-
And that goes-
That's
child's
an awfully
deliverance.
convenient thing. That's,
but
that's
it-
hard,
it
but
But
could-
that goes
convenient
back to
thing.
saying, man, look, stop bothering God if you ain't ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing.
It ain't your
See,
time.
Sometimes, you know, there are, like we said, babies that are die innocent. You know,
You
people
can't
that die.
say they-
But
they-
here's
what
the
they say, it ain't your time?
God's overall plan. God's overall plan is for you to have a better relationship with Him. So guess what? If God has to remove some stuff from you or allow some stuff, some discomfort to come in to get your attention, that's what He's going to do.
Because if everything came and
Easy.
it does happen for some people.
It's
and
unfair
it-
stuff that happens.
Everything. can
Some
come
unfair
easy.
things happen. You
But-
get what I'm saying?
I know that I am the person that I am now, and I know that I will grow into even being a better person just through things that happen. I'm not saying that, you know, I want, you know, bad things to happen all the time, but the person I was at 26 to now, some things happened in that time frame
Yeah.
that made me who I am now.
Right.
So that's where the lessons came in. Some tough, lessons came in.
Right.
But they've been learned, and not just for me. I could run into somebody in the store that could be going through the exact same thing that I went through in the past, and be able to tell them, "Hey, look, there's a way out of this."
Right.
And I'm here to tell you there is. So, you know, and just like you say, you have to prepare for what you're asking for. You
Right.
have to prepare.
But
for
even
that.
if you don't-
if I can't say, oh God, please, you know, I need a financial breakthrough, and I don't know how to balance a checkbook, or I don't understand money or anything like that. Like I have to start preparing myself.
And let's not
for
even,
that time.
but let's not even talk about stuff. It's not
Yeah, it's
stuff,
not about
stuff.
stuff.
Because
It's
I'm
not
just
about
trying to tell
stuff.
you,
I'm just saying, like, it's an example of it.
right? But there's a scripture that says, you know, and I'm gonna paraphrase this because I don't know exact verbatim, but it says, I would rather, basically, I would rather your body perish than for you to lose your soul. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes God designed things in our life and remove stuff in our life that we may think is cruel, and I can't believe that He did that. Overall, for you to get the whole overall point,
message, yeah.
you get the message. Your timing, somebody's timing, may not be God's timing, but when God's timing arrives, you just have to be ready. So that's why it's important. So whatever happens to me is not going to happen without God allowing it. Oh, hold on one second. Question.
You know, that also comes with a lot of maturity, you know. As you grow older, you should be able to develop that that sense enough to look at things at different perspectives and different points of views. And a lot of times people get stuck in, you know, the trials and tribulations that they may be going through at the time, but not understanding that it's all for a reason, it's all for a cause. And that's where your faith comes in, and that's where the hope comes in, that you're going to continue to push and persevere through that situation, you know? Because God does everything for a reason, honestly. But God doesn't just be like, some people just be like, oh, my shoe tied, God did it for a reason. No, God does things for a reason to refine you as a character, you know? Everybody
Refine
has a
your character.
purpose, you know?
Right.
A lot of people die, a lot of people, you know, pass away, but that's all for a purpose, you know? It sometimes...
Shame on us if we miss that purpose, what the purpose is.
Well, I mean,
I
you
get
ever
it.
have a line in that Bible that also says, challenge me, see that I'm real? But anytime you ever question anything about your faith or God or Jesus, like, everybody loses their mind. Like, that's in there too.
Yeah, you're going to question Him, yeah.
So,
Right.
But that's not, like I said, we're not taught that. Like, we're taught immediately.
But if you search the
that
scriptures, you will
that's
see
wrong.
you will see that.
Search the scriptures where?
We have
Yeah,
to search the
You
scriptures.
have to know
Yeah,
for
we got
yourself.
to search the
Per
scriptures.
individual. See, it's not the minister, it's not the teacher, it's not the, you know, our sister, our brother. It's not their responsibility for us to search the scriptures. You get what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying in the question of the faith. Like I'm saying,
Right.
people should be allowed to question their faith. Like they
I
should
agree.
be allowed, but it doesn't. That's not really how it goes. Usually, you're usually attacked if you go against anything that people are taught, or that they have, that their belief system is you know set in.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's true.
Okay,
Shouldn't be that
is this a comment from you or is this a comment on?
This is coming from me. I'm part of the
Okay,
audience.
I understand you are part of the audience, but
Another thing, why
but
you-
I swear she, Lord have mercy, she asking so many.
I'm really intrigued by this conversation because, you know, you hear a lot of different perspectives and y'all have your own experiences. But like going back to the church, you know, the church is also where you're supposed to be able to come to your brothers and sisters and ask for a helping hand. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's not a brother or sister that knows how to pray for themselves. But if I'm coming to you as a leader in that church and I'm telling you all my problems, I expect you to be able to stand in me in the word and, you know, get together and pray for me. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people don't understand is the spirits that surround us are more mature than what we can potentially say to actually knock down those, you know, trials and
You're going a little
tribulations.
deeper. You're going too deep for this particular podcast.
Go.
But
Well,
but we're gonna have my father on an upcoming podcast that's gonna, you know, talk about certain things. However,
Excuse
the
me.
church, we are the church. The church is not a building. We are the church. So, what are you exactly saying?
the church as in where you go to fellowship.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You should be able to go to your brother or your sister and have them pray with you. So, what was the question? Did I miss the
I was
question?
going off of Brandon, where he's saying that, you
No,
know,
like fundamentally, I think I get what she's trying to say. Fundamentally, I think what I said earlier kind of stands. Like we go to church kind of to release ourselves for individual responsibility. And it's a place where you can get somebody to hold you up because you're not strong enough. When I think that we need to be taught from young that all things are already in you to conquer whatever's coming. I don't need you to come to church every Sunday to say God's going to conquer it, because God gave it to you when he gave you life.
That's true.
And if you
But he also gave you the wisdom to connect yourself with like-minded individuals to become stronger.
I don't
and
have
stronger.
no problem. Like that is absolutely it. That's why we are sitting on this panel. That's why it's important. Like when like-minded people get together and they share their dreams and visions, you're all uplifted. I don't have that problem with the church. What I'm saying is that fundamentally, we are taught to take our problems, take our emotions, and put them on the Lord instead of facing them. And that is the problem that cripples us as people.
Yeah, I can follow that. I can agree with that. That's a great point. Go ahead, brother. Here's the mic. Take it to the mic. I said take it to the mic. Damn it, I said take it to the mic.
How y'all doing tonight? I like this
doing great.
conversation. Huh?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
All
great,
right.
man. You know, this is me, Rex the guy, Rex with Reigns. Man, look, it's like I understand. Great subject, and I feel we'll be at. See, we have to understand that we ourselves are Lord and masters of our own life first. And get knowledge of self first. And once you get knowledge of self, you understand that I create my own heaven and hell. I myself am ruler and master of my own life. I can do nothing unless, and can't nothing happen to me unless I do something to make that happen. It's called a ripple effect. Now, as they say, what you reap is what you sow. So whatever I do positive, I'm going to reap back positive. And whatever I do negative, I'm going to reap back negative. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that we don't need a bunch of other people to give us self-satisfaction when we can find it within ourselves. We don't need nobody else to give us the strength to do it, because if we don't have the strength within ourselves, I don't care how much a person push me and drive me and try to tell me I'm great, I'm great, I'm great. If I don't believe it within my mind, I'm not gonna be great, because as they say, as a man thinketh that he is.
Exactly.
See, that's the law of attraction.
And
See,
that's the Bible you just quoted. But go ahead.
No, but I mean,
That's right. You're right.
Those things,
You're right.
those things predate the Bible, and that's the crazy thing. Like we don't like to look past the Bible to get our information, to get our references.
We can look past the Bible. You can, if you can speak Hebrew and all this other stuff, even before stuff that's not even documented in the Bible. Listen to me. God has a way to repeat Himself through the challenge of time. You get what I'm saying? However far you want to go back, but let's even just go back even to the Bible history, recent documentation of the Bible. Okay. Since, King James, let's even go back to the Hebrew, however you choose to go. The fact of the matter is gravity was always gravity. The fact of the matter is you give, it shall be given unto you. This is fact.
No, concepts though.
The concept has always been there.
But think about a concept like this though, that God is not sitting up there manipulating every aspect of your life.
Of course not.
He created you. But we
Right.
act like that. We
Right.
act like God is
Right.
involved in every single aspect of our life.
He has permissive will.
Right.
He have-
But
you know,
that
that's
doesn't
what
mean
he-
he's into every part of your life. And I think that's the part that people have a problem with.
So if he created you, you trying to tell me he's not into every part of your life? If he created you, he created you.
See, that's
You created your children, but
See,
you're not
that's-
going to be over them their entire life,
That-
dictating them what they do
okay.
and don't do.
Let's
That's the
let's
whole thing. See,
specify.
that's the whole
Okay,
thing.
let's
See,
specify.
when we try to say that God is in control of every aspect of our life.
I didn't say he's
then
in control of
Not
it.
control, but is a part of every aspect of our life. It's true, but also we also have to understand that he is in it because he is God. He has something to do with everything. You know what I'm saying?
He gives
But at
us
the
the
same
freedom to
time,
make choice.
if we have to also understand that he gave us dominion over our lives. That's where the self-will comes at. You see, that's what made us greater than the angels, because he gave us the one thing, the will to choose if we want to follow what his laws are or we don't want to follow what his laws are. You know what I'm saying? That's that freedom of choice that he gave us. And that's what makes us great, and that's what also at times makes us self-destruct, because he gave us that power of free will, that power of choice. See, that word choice is a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful thing. And as long as we have an understanding and know what that we have that power of choice, man, we have dominion over our whole lives. As long as we keep that focus that we have that choice.
So since you are your own God, your own Lord of your heavens and your hells.
No, it's not.
So-
You're not
Hold
saying
on.
that.
Not
I'm just
saying
saying
that.
because you got some people that I'm just not. Listen to me. I'm not attacking you. I'm just giving you an alternate way of how I
Some
personally have heard this from
Yeah.
certain people. You get what I'm saying? Does that mean that you don't believe in something greater than yourself?
Oh, yes, I believe in the Most High. Because check this out. See that table? That table right there that y'all leaning on right there?
Mm-hmm.
God is in that. See, God is the invisible attributes of things that are seen. See, this is the thing. God gave man and helped man develop the technology and develop the intuition and gave man the imagination to create a table. Remember, Jesus was a carpenter. Jesus created tables. See, what God did
Jesus
is
is a carpenter.
God,
You heard
home,
me? You heard me?
fam.
God,
Man,
God
I'm
showed
wide
us,
open now.
God showed us through Jesus that just as he's showing you, I made him a carpenter. And what carpenters do? He create things. And everything that a carpenter creates is create with time and with beauty. And just as in our lives, all this, the Gr8 table talk, came with time, came with beauty. And now look how beautiful it is. YBS, Handsome Mothers, all that was through time
promoting now.
and
Yeah,
beauty.
he is. He is.
You
You
Can
see,
you?
so what you got to understand
Great
is
movement.
God is
You
in
want- you
everything,
sit at
but
the
we have to
table?
have the open mind to understand that when God is in everything,
God is.
we can do everything.
God is. Right. And I think Brandon, you made a great point. Even though I had my kids, once I instill and put certain things into them,
That's it.
I have to entrust that they will move like that. And whatever they include
have
me in
choice.
when they grow up, and get old and do that, that's what they include
That's
me
it.
in. You get what I'm saying? The same thing
And that's
with
why-
the relationship with Christ. Whatever you include your God in, that's what he's going to be involved with.
But that's what, but fundamentally, like I said, that's the problem, because you're not really getting taught that when you go to church. They're not telling you things like that. They're teaching you in a manner is that Jesus is everywhere. God's everywhere. He's watching everything. Well, if he's watching everything, then he sees the good and he sees the bad.
Of course.
So again, if he sees the good and he sees the bad and he allows it to happen, stop telling me that I've got to find a way to understand that.
Listen to me.
But see, that
I
would
can,
make
as a parent, I sit and allow some things to happen with my kids because it's for their overall good.
Are you going to let them get enslaved?
Listen to me.
Are you going to let somebody take
It
them
depe- it de-
from you
It
and
depe-
enslave
listen
them?
to me.
once
Listen
we
to me.
expect perfection on earth, we mess up.
Absolutely.
And,
Because
and
it's
that
not
goes
gonna
and that
happen
goes
here.
back to what it is. We as the Christian have to continue to find ways to allow it to be okay for the things to happen.
Listen to me. So what are you saying? Your God allow. So
No,
I'm trying to say,
my God, like this is my thing.
because on one hand we want to
As
be
a- as an-
judgmental
as
of
an
Christians,
entity.
but on the other hand,
No, we
what
don't-
are these non-believers doing to make sure that the world isn't the way it is? Y'all are just
No, I am a person that just speaks solely on self-responsibility. Like instead of leaving it up to anybody, you take that upon yourself.
You can,
be
but
the
you.
change
So you mean to
that
tell me you
wanna
don't
see.
personally believe in something greater than yourself?
I never said that.
I'm asking you.
Yes, I believe I was created. So I've got to believe that I was created by something or somebody.
Okay, so
But I do not live my life talking about he's going to make something happen for me because
you
he gave
you
me
have to
life.
make it happen.
Exactly.
But at the same
That's all I'm
token, you
saying.
have to give reference to that very same thing that gave you life.
I'm giving reference to that by my actions. If I love the people that are around me, if I support the people around me, how am I not giving him reverence?
Okay.
The
So
word of God said
my
that faith
life
without works
is
is
reverence
dead.
to him. My life is reverence to my creation. Everything that I do that's good in this world is reverence to honoring my creation.
the good and bad, right?
Right.
I mean,
The good and bad, right?
We're
The good
duplicitous.
and bad, yes.
Everything.
Okay.
But that's not me saying I'm somebody's creator.
But here's the thing: we cannot say I'm giving reverence to the things that I do because my Creator created me. So everything that I do, I'm giving reverence to Him, good and bad. But yet we want to turn around the God that you serve. He's allowing all these bad things to happen.
But
So if
but
you're
he
giving
is,
reference
though.
to your God, how you live, good and bad, and He allowed that your God,
If your faith
who
system
you
says-
reverence every day, and things that you do allow you to do bad.
Obviously, he does.
Okay.
If he allows rape, if he allows
So does
murder,
that
if
still
he
that He's
allows
not?
hunger and fasting,
But
if
He's
he-
still God, right?
What can I say against that?
That's what I'm trying to say. I just want to make sure
But
we
that don't
agree.
mean- it don't mean that I got to go along with the system because that's the way it's laid
It
out.
ain't a system. It's your Creator. It's your Creator.
It's
I'm talking about
not-
your personal
no,
Creator.
I'm telling you, like, anybody that believes that their God will send them to hell or do these things, that's not my God. You serve another God, because that's not my God.
Well, I'm talking about your God. Listen to me. I'm talking about your God. I'm
Well,
talking about
look,
your personal
yeah.
God. Your
Well-
personal God is with you when you do good and when you do bad. Your personal God is with you when you move around and do what you do throughout the day. Your personal
My
God. I'm
personal
talking about your
God
personal
is with
God.
me every step of the
Whether
way.
you're doing good or bad, correct?
That's it.
But yet we want to sit with you in your stance. You can sit and talk about somebody else, how they worship their God and how their God allows bad to happen. When you just stated your God is with you when you have done bad.
Because I don't have a belief system that tells me my God is out here dictating what happens. We are in control. Kashella is in control. Brandon is in control. God is not out there dictating what you can and can't do. That's your free
I mean,
will.
I can agree to that. I can agree to that.
That's all I'm
but,
saying.
But I just heard you earlier. You were saying that, God allowed, He let that happen.
What I'm saying to you is that that's how you get taught in church. You're saying that there's all this suffering in the world and that's just God's way. God's saying, wait. I mean, you take this back wherever. I do not care. You mean to tell me that your God is saying that you can be enslaved, you can still be mistreated till this day, and it's just you waiting on him in his perfect time? Like, when is he going to get upset? I mean, when is he not going to be upset no more?
This the whole thing. This the whole
We gotta
thing.
wrap this up.
This
Go
is what
ahead.
God, excuse me, let me get into this. See, this is what God does. God creates opportunity. And it's on you to see the opportunity. See, this is where your eyes have to be open. You have to be woke to see and recognize every opportunity in your life. You know what I'm saying? God will give you an opportunity, but it's on you. God, there is no fear. God is not fear, but it's powerful and mighty. See, God is if God is not fear, then we should not have. If God created us in His image, that means no fear should be within us. Now, check this out: for us to allow somebody to enslave us, because we allowed ourselves to be fearful of that person that tried to enslave us. Because, like dude said, like Killmonger said, dog, I'd rather bury me in the sea with my ancestors. At least then that's some real stuff, though. At least they knew it was better to die than to be in bondage, to live in bondage.
So, and those people that killed themselves, and they say suicide is one of those things. Are those people going to hell?
Those
brothers that jumped in the boat,
you have to
going
change the
hell?
narrative.
But at the
First of all,
same
you have
time,
to,
but look,
you have to
check
change
this
the
out.
narrative because I understand what you're saying. That's what's been taught, but that's
But you see, this wasn't suicide. What they did, they felt like, well, I'm gonna try my best to swim to land. They didn't jump trying to kill themselves. They jumped. I believe that they didn't jump trying to commit suicide. They
shackles
jumped
on,
trying
man.
to save
Like,
themselves.
they wasn't
I'd
gonna go
rather
nowhere.
take my risk in fighting for my freedom and dying free than to be live enslaved and in
Right.
bondage. And that's the chance that they took. Oh well, they died, but who knows? Somebody probably lived. Somebody probably, one of our ancestors probably lived and made it to shore. We don't know
We
that.
don't know, right.
But we know that they took that chance. I'd rather jump off this ship and fight for my survival and be free and deal with the elements than for to let these people have fear and let these people just live there and enslave me and keep me in bondage. And see, that's the thing about it. God gives us opportunity. Those people seen their opportunity to get out of bondage, and you know what they did? They went with it.
yeah.
They went with it. And that's what we need to do.
Yeah, but that's
in
why,
our
like I
lives.
say, why you say when
To
people
the,
get
to the
frustrated
slaves of our situations.
about people selling hope. Like that's why people get frustrated with selling hope. Like you get tired. Like for some people, they can live their whole life waiting and praying on the rapture. But for other people, they don't have time for that. Like they would rather be out there trying to accomplish something rather than waiting.
Right. I agree.
I agree with that one. All the way.
I mean, and there's nowhere where it says you're supposed to just. A lot of people think waiting means sitting still and doing nothing. Waiting on God, that doesn't mean you're not moving, and
That's
you're
the
not
fate without
you're
work.
Not, You're not studying and not preparing, like I was saying earlier. You're waiting on Him for that next step and that guidance, but at the same time you're also preparing for whatever that next step is.
Right.
Yeah, but how many? Like I said, don't even answer this out loud. How many people do y'all know like that? Or do most of the people y'all know just get up and go to church every Sunday and then they come back to their regular lives?
It happens like a older generation.
That's
we
the
do. We
older
know 'em.
generation.
Yeah,
That's
we
that
know the
older
older generation.
generation.
Right. Well, let's wrap up this podcast. We have to continue this another time. I love this heated debate, this heated
right.
fellowship. So until next time,
We announcing
it's
the next podcast subject.
what is the yeah, you go ahead and announce the next podcast subject.
Oh, it's gonna be a nice one. We're gonna have to bring our attorneys in here and talk a little bit about child support.
Child support. Just up.
Support.
Just up. So we're gonna work with getting an attorney on panel so we can try to discuss this child support in detail. But it's your girl Cash.
It's Reed.
Pat,
Brandon, there it is.
YBS.
See you later. Bye.